Welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of Stay Tuned Sports Extra. It is me, your boy, King, along with your good friend, Jimbo. How you doing, Jimbo?
What's up, buddy?
All right. I'm not too bad. I'm not full of hate and anger over Taylor Swift like you seem to be. But
what are you talking about? I'm not full of hate at all.
Do I need to post, so I'm going to take the screenshots from the group chat that we have and show everybody just the absolute vitriol you have for love. Love is great, Jimbo. I love love. I'm a lover of love. You should be too. Stop being so angry.
I love football.
I love football and I love Taylor Swift coming together for the betterment of mankind.
I don't know about that.
Listen, I think the more people you get to watch football, the better. So I think if you get these Swifties who were like, it's boring, it's gross, you get them to watch it, you get them to fall in love with the game because it is such a great game that it's a no-lose. It's a win-win situation. They win for their love. We win because we get more football fans. It is great. Stop being. You're like one of those metalheads that hate people listening to metal. You're like, I listened to them first. They were better when they're too mainstream now. Your team are terrible. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Anyway, if you went ahead and listened to our podcast, which I certainly hope you did, if not, we have the link down in the description for you. Go ahead and do that. Me and Jimbo, we've already done the first 3 games of our picks here for week 4. We're at week 4 already, which is insane. Those games were the Thursday night game, which is Detroit and Green Bay. Jimbo picked Green Bay. I picked Detroit. Then it was the London game with the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. You picked the Jacksonville Jaguars. I picked the Atlanta Falcons. And we also picked the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Houston Texans. You picked the Texans. I picked the Steelers. So 3 different picks already off to the jump. So without further ado, we're not going to try to delay you here too much. All right. I was going to try to hold off on this, but this is not a bad way to bump this thing off.
Yeah.
To bump it off. I'm not killing the picks. We're kicking them off. That's the one I wanted to use. I know I'm in Jersey right now, but I'm not bumping anything off. The Miami Dolphins make a trip up to Orchard Park, New York, to take on the Bills. Bills at home, favored by 3 against the Dolphins, who put up 70 points against the Broncos, and they weren't even trying. Jimbo, in this massive matchup, which a lot of people want to have flexed into the Sunday night game, but they don't start flexing until week 5, so they can't do it. And especially if Taylor Swift shows up to the game, they're never going to flex that. But still, Dolphins, Bills favored by 3. Who do you got?
I mean, this last game with the Bills, they kind of showed, a little bit of the old Bills, not showing any of the bad mistakes that Josh Allen has been doing. But Miami's just a freaking powerhouse on offense. I'm going Miami. I may even take Miami every week until we see somebody stop them. Obviously, they're not going to put up 70, but could they put 30, 40 up? Yeah, I think so. So I'm going with Miami +3.
It's going to be hard not to take the Dolphins in a lot of these games coming up, especially if they keep playing the way they do. Now, you're right. They're not going to put up 70 in this game. I think we know that. And I think this is a good measuring stick game for how how each team stacks up against each other. Trying to stop that Dolphins offense is going to be a mighty hard thing for anybody to do. Moving forward here, I don't see it. And Buffalo being favored, like if the Dolphins were favored by 6, or even like 5.5%, like I would consider maybe taking the Bills, because it has a chance to be a close game. The Bills are still the Bills, and especially if they have an offense that can hang. I agree with you, though. I got to go with the Dolphins in this one. Until there's a reason not to, I have to go with the Dolphins. So I will be picking the Dolphins as well, who are getting 3 points from the Bills I think that's just you have to. You have to until further notice. You have to.
Yeah.
Next game, as we look on here, is the Los Angeles Rams. They make a trip. They were in Cincinnati this Monday night, lost by 3 to the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a game that we pushed on. Because, and it's funny because we were on both opposite sides of that pick and we pushed. So,
I had to do a double take when I did that.
I know. They also they are making the trip just from Cincinnati to Indianapolis to play the Colts. I believe Anthony Richardson is practicing again.
Okay.
I don't know if he's cleared out of concussion protocol yet, but I do believe he's on the field, whether he's actively participating or just throwing the ball or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's still not sure whether he starts or Minshew. But either way, what do we have here? The Colts are favored by 1.5 at home against the Rams. Jimbo, who you got?
I'm going to go under the assumption that Richardson's going to start. He's not a bad quarterback with what I'm about to say.
Not at all. Not at all. I think probably one of the best rookie ones out there.
Yeah.
Him and CJ Stroud, definitely.
I think if the Colts want to win now and make the playoffs, I think Minshew would be the better choice between the two. If Richardson starts, I think the Rams are going to win this. 3-5 points. I think it's still going to be a close game, but I'm going to go with the Rams plus 1.5.
The only thing I think that gives the Rams probably the edge in this game is Aaron Donald. And whether it's Minshew back there or it's Anthony Richardson. And at some point, you're going to have to baptize that kid, too. I know he's been injured in the first 2 games, but you're going to have to baptize him with beating Aaron Donald,
Yeah.
And as we saw in week 1 of this year, when Geno saw him, he's like, oh, my God.
Oh, geez.
But I think that gives the Rams an edge in this game. I like the Colts. I like what they're doing, but they are still a rebuilding team. So I'm not going to, I'm not jumping on a bad. Yes, they beat Baltimore at Baltimore last week. Whatever the bad calls were, whatever everything like that, they went into a hostile environment against a team that's supposed to be vastly superior to them, and they won. That's not going to happen every week, and I know they're playing in Indianapolis, but I still think they're a team that has growing pains. They're a team that is rebuilding. So I'm with you. I'm going to go with the Rams on this game. Would it shock me if the Colts won? No. But again, we have a 1.5 point spread, and the Rams are getting that 1.5. I'll take the Rams. I will take the Rams. The Rams are probably going to win outright, clearly, but I will take the Rams.
Yeah.
With this game. Next game up, Minnesota Vikings. Take a trip down to Carolina to maybe face Andy Dalton, maybe face Bryce Young. We're not quite sure yet. Another rookie quarterback injury situation where we're not sure who is going to be the starter as of this recording, as of now. Obviously, later on it may change. Minnesota favored by 3.5, I believe, is what I saw. Favored by 4. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it literally just updated.
Literally just changed, because it was 3.5 when I just looked at it, and now it's 4. So these lines are always moving. But Vikings favored by 4 in Carolina. Jimbo, who you got and why?
I'm going Minnesota. Kirk Cousins isn't having a bad year. The
Not at all.
team overall, together, is having a bad year. But even with how bad that Minnesota team is, I think Carolina's worse. Whether it's Bryce Young or who was it? Andy Dalton is the backup.
Andy looked good in Seattle. He looked good in Seattle this past week.
Yeah, but I just think that team is just that much worse than Minnesota. So Minnesota -4.
On paper, I wouldn't disagree with you. But games aren't played on paper.
Yes.
And the way the Panthers played last week, and I think they might give maybe they give Bryce an extra week. And Minnesota is just, again, as we said, Kirk Cousins, I think, is literally one of the top passers in the league statistically.
Yeah.
His quarterback rating is high, completion percentage is high. Like he is statistically having a great quarterback year. Just the team can't seem to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And this just has a feeling of being like last year where the Vikings kind of won a lot of close games and won a lot of games where they shouldn't have and seemed to have kind of luck bounce on their side. This seems to be maybe a karmatic difference. And to kind of feed off the Taylor Swift stuff, karma's a cat. In this case, it's a panther. So I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers getting the 4 points there in Carolina. Dude, the Taylor Swift references are going to happen probably for the rest of the season now. Like, it's going to happen no matter what. So brace yourselves. And you're not going to be able to shake it off. So that's just the end game.
I can't even shake my head now because I'm shaking it off.
God, I love my life. But yes, I am taking the Carolina Panthers, getting the 4 points there at home against the Vikings. Next game. Saints at home, favored by 3 against Baker Mayfield and the Fighting Buccaneers of Tampa Bay. Jimbo, who you got?
Well, I'm pretty sure Derek Carr's out this week. They said he's week to week. Baker did not have a good game. You know, he had a couple bad interceptions. I'm not going to hold against the running back because he got just plowed from behind by Jalen Carter with that fumble.
He just got plowed by behind, yeah.
Oh, I mean, real hard.
Hard and fast.
But he shook it off. So,
it's not funny when you do it.
I try. But I'm gonna go Tampa Bay here, because other than Derek Carr, they got Taysom Hill. Jameis Winston.
See, it's Jameis Winston, baby. Jameis Winston.
Nah,
and this is he's coming in, backup quarterback. Jameis Winston going back to Tampa Bay, where he had his 40-40 season. He got the LASIK. He's eating those W's up. You know, he might throw 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in this game. I think the Saints just that little bit better. As much as I like Baker, and I do like Baker, and I want to see him do well, I'm actually going to go at home here with the Saints. I'm picking the Saints. They're favored by 3. I think they win by more than that, at least. I hate the games without a hook because then you get a push. You know, if it's 3, and this could easily be a game where somebody wins by 3. But I will go with the Saints and Jameis Winston there in a bit of a. It's not really a revenge game because that would already be because he started for like whatever. But I think he wins. I think he wins. I think they win this game, and keep their hopes of winning the South alive, especially with I think Atlanta winning in London, which you don't think is going to happen, but I do. Next game, division game. NFC East division game. The Washington football team of Redskin Commanders make the trip into the hostile environments of Lincoln Financial Field in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. I'm trying to hype it up. It's good. Let's go, baby. You have the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders. They are an 8.5 point underdog to the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Jimbo, who you got?
I'm going Washington, and this is not like a reverse psychology thing that I always tell you why I pick against Philly or whatever. But one, that's a lot of points, and until I see the passing game for Philly start to take off, we saw a little bit of it go, but not what we're used to. Until we see it take off, I can't see how they would cover this. I mean, you know, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, they're just playing lights out on defense. But again, 8.5. Even Philly wins by 3. Washington still covers. So I'm going Washington plus 8.5.
If the football team of Redskin Commanders played the way they did against Buffalo, this game is a blowout. I don't think it's a question. If they play the way they did the first 2 weeks, if Sam Howell doesn't make mistakes, because here's the thing, I think the Eagles, a lot like the Cowboys, I think if the Eagles stick with the running game, a lot more than the pass. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is a bad passer. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying their run game, especially with DeAndre Swift, is so effective. And it just seems to be something about the NFL. When you get Swift and Kelsey together, it's an unstoppable force. And you have that here in Philadelphia. So when you have that, I think you have to tap into that. I think Philadelphia wins. I agree with you, though. I don't think it's going to be by 8.5. I think Washington keeps it to a touchdown. I think. May they, again, if they play the way they do against Buffalo, they will get the doors blown off of them.
Yeah.
But they play the Eagles tough. It's a division matchup. Division matches are always a little bit more tough and a little bit more fiercely competed. Always, no matter what, no matter who it is, even if a team's good or bad or whatever. Unless it's the Giants, then you blow us the fuck out. But outside of that, so I'm with you. With the 8.5 points, getting the 8.5 points, I will take the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders there. Not to win outright, not by a long shot, but I think they cover. I definitely think they cover against the spread. Holy shit.
Do we really have to pick
Do we even want to do this one?
I was just thinking.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But in the, I guess somebody has to win bowl. You have the Denver Broncos favored somehow. This is what I mean. The Broncos had 70 points put up on.
Yeah.
70 points. And yet here the bookies think that they're still 3.5 points better on the road against the Bears. That's how bad they think the Bears are. The Bears are a 3.5 point dog at home against the Broncos. Holy shit, Jimbo. Who you got?
Here's what I will say. These two teams will figure out a way to have a push. Even with the half point. They will figure out a way to have a push because they're that bad.
You're going to start scoring half points in the NFL now. Just because.
You know, style points for how shitty fucking Justin Fields runs or something.
Well, you know, that'll never go out of style.
Yeah.
Out of style. That's a Taylor Swift song.
Oh, yeah. See,
I'm still hitting you with them. I'm still hitting you with them.
Positive of not knowing her songs.
Oh, no. See, it's good. You get to make the puns. That's the fun. See, fun, Jimbo. You got to have fun here. Come on.
I have fun listening to Metallica and Avatar. They should be playing the freaking halftime
I listen
show.
to them as well. But you can like both, Jimbo. You can like both. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody's going to think you're less of a man.
I'm going with the Bears plus 3.5 just because I have to pick somebody.
I don't know who. Like, this is in Chicago. Like, I literally don't know who to pick. You know what? Do I have a coin?
I was gonna say, you need a coin.
If I have a coin, like I don't even know. Like, it's so bad. It's so I'll pick the Bears because it's 3.5, and they're getting the 3.5. So I'll go with the underdog team because I don't think if the Broncos win, it'll be by 3.
Yeah,
it'll be 3-0 with the last second field goal because they missed 5 other ones or something. But like again,
I got it.
This should just be a wash to begin with.
The Broncos are going to win 2-0 because Justin Fields steps out of bounds on the last play of the game.
Not an impossibility. That is not. The chance of that is not 0, which is incredible to think. Okay, next game we have on the docket. This should be a doozy. The Baltimore Ravens favored by 2.5 on the road in Cleveland against that Cleveland Browns team. Divisional game. Jimbo, who you got?
I'm picking Cleveland because of one player only. Myles Garrett.
Yep.
What was it? Week 1, he was doing the crossover before the snap, and then last week he made the Tennessee offense have a delayed game because the tight ends wouldn't get set because
they had tight end spies and they kept on going. They couldn't get set.
Like he wasn't just in Tennessee's head; he's in the NFL's head. So I'm going to Cleveland -2.5.
Listen, when J.J. Watt is saying you're doing things that he couldn't even do, like doing J.J. Watt brought up the point that Myles Garrett showed an offensive lineman. I think this was week 1 or week 2. He showed the offensive lineman he was going to cross him up. He was going to do a crossover.
Yeah.
Before the snap, showed him exactly what he was going to do, and then did it anyway. And the offensive lineman couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
That shows you that level of what it is. And then on top of that, if you have Deshaun Watson playing like the Deshaun Watson of old, I agree. I think this is Cleveland favored by what is it, 2.5?
Yeah.
Or giving 2.5.
Giving 2.5.
Yeah, they're giving 2.5. So they're favored 2.5. They're at home.
Excuse me.
I think I misspoke before about the Ravens. No, the Browns are favored at home by 2.5. I think they win by more than that, actually. I like the Browns. Again, I'm not sold on the Ravens. Last week proved that to me even more, and this week might even solidify that. And man, you have the Browns win here, and now they're 2-1 in the division. The only game they lost was to the Steelers on a Monday night where they were kind of, I don't know what happened to them that night. But I think it was more the offense wasn't with it. Deshaun didn't have his best game, and the Steelers' defense is the Steelers' defense. But the Browns can have a chokehold on the AFC North if they win this game, and I think they do. I agree with you. Browns in that game, favored by 2.5. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals coming off their first win of the year against the Los Angeles Rams. They make a trip down to Tennessee, who were shut out by the Browns last week. Tennessee giving 2.5 at home. That means Cincinnati's favored by 2.5 on the road. Jimbo, who you got?
No, Cincinnati's the. Oh, okay, yeah. I misheard you again.
Minus means favored.
Yes. I'm going Cincinnati. I think Tennessee is done. Like the window of making the playoffs, making a Super Bowl is done. Derrick Henry, he's slowly seeing his role drop. And not saying Cincinnati turned the season around with that win, but between the two teams, I think they're the better team. So Cincinnati -2.5.
I'm not going to say Tennessee's done. Maybe the Super Bowl window is closed. That one I don't think I could disagree with. I don't think they're done as a team or as a threat, especially at home, and especially against a Cincinnati team that is shaky at best. And again, was only beat the Rams by 3 at home. Burrow still doesn't look like Burrow. I think there's a lot of problems with Cincinnati. Tennessee, I don't know what happened with Tannehill. Like he was playing well, and now this season so far, it just hasn't gone well. I don't know if that's him. I don't know if that's people around him. All of a sudden, though, man, you're starting to wonder. Tennessee has all that talent. How is it going to waste?
Yeah.
Like, how is it going from the running game to the receivers? I mean, they just you have Hopkins there now, and it's like Hopkins to me is still a top flight wide receiver 1, and it's I don't get it. I don't understand what's wrong in Tennessee, but something is wrong. Do they get it right? Is this a get right game for them? Because again, Cincinnati's not doing that great. I don't know. Based on reputation. See what I did there. I'm going to have to go with the Bengals on this one. Can Tennessee easily win this one? Yes. I think Cincinnati can win at least by 3 of them. Okay. And right now, that's what the spread is saying. So I will go with that one. Cincinnati, both me and you, have the Bengals. Moving on to the next game. The mess that is the Las Vegas Raiders with who knows what's going on. Garoppolo, I believe, is still injured. He's still in concussion protocol. Josh McDaniels is
Pretty much done.
borderline mentally special. Some would say. Hey, when you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game,
Let's go for a
with
field goal.
what, 2 minutes left, it makes sense to go ahead and kick the field goal. I mean, anybody would do that, of course.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. They are at the Los Angeles Chargers, so it's basically going to be a home game for the Raiders anyway. But that Chargers offense, man, is real nice. Chargers favored by 5.5. Jimbo, who you got?
I'm going Chargers. Like you said, there's so many problems with the Raiders on and off the field. When you got, like you said, also just now, you got a head coach going for a field goal, 2 minutes left. What do you expect, to get the ball back with 12 seconds left on your 30-yard line and be able to score a touchdown? Like, gotta be smarter. And that's like high school coaching type stuff there, like mistakes.
Dude, that's Madden coaching. Everybody, even people in Madden know to do. Like it's literally like it doesn't make any sense. You could say it's trying to analytics or anything. It's not. It just didn't make sense. Just didn't make sense.
And even if it is analytics, at some point you gotta be like, wait, this don't look right. Let's use some common sense, which Raiders have none of it. So Chargers minus 5.5.
Like, again, Garoppolo's injured. McDaniels is your coach. You're wasting the talent that you have there. You're wasting the defensive talent you have there. It doesn't seem like anybody knows what they're doing. It seems as crazy as Chandler Jones is right now.
He's not crazy. He's being held against his will.
Because he's crazy. And I don't mean that. Listen, I hope Chandler Jones gets all the help that he needs. He gets better. I know he had an incident, something like this in New England earlier in his career, which I had forgotten about, but apparently that was something there too. So this is something, that is obviously he has with him, and hopefully, like I said, he gets the help that he needs and he gets better. We joke about things that maybe we shouldn't joke about, but that's what we do here. So don't cancel us. Don't blame me, as Taylor would say. Yeah, I got to go. I think San Diego wins this game. San Diego. They should be in San Diego, goddammit.
Yes.
I think the Chargers win this game. I think this is going to be a lot more than 5.5. I think you could look at alternate spreads if you want to make a little extra cash. If you do so, again, entertainment purposes only. But yeah, Chargers, absolutely. Next game. New England Patriots. 6.5-point favorite. Underdogs. Plus means underdog. Down in Dallas against the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys coming off being embarrassed by 12 points by the Arizona Cardinals last week. The Patriots coming off a win against the Jets, which is not that hard to do apparently without Aaron Rodgers there. Jimbo, who you got?
I'm going New England, plus 6.5. I don't know if you've seen these quotes or not, but the offense coordinator for Dallas, I believe it was the one that said it, that he is worried that Will Grier, who the Patriots signed this past week as a backup, and Zeke will be telling the Patriots all their offensive signs, signals, all that. The fact that came out on a Tuesday means that the Patriots are already in this offense coordinator's head. So I think this may be another game for the Cowboys, and I think the Patriots actually pull off a close win.
Whether or not they win, I don't know. I think they're playing a lot better than what they would have been last year. I think having Bill O'Brien with Mac Jones helps Mac Jones a lot, helps that offense a lot. And you give him Billy B time defensively to come up with some schemes. If they can slow down the run to the point where the Cowboys will abandon it and go to Dak, which seems to be something they will do. If the Arizona game shows anything like that, they may not win, but I think they keep it close. I think they keep it a lot closer than 6.5. Again, the Cowboys, as much as I was sold on them, that Arizona game put a huge pause on. That pumped the brakes, because that was exactly what I was afraid that the Cowboys would do.
Yeah.
That they would stop running the ball and have Dak try to win games. Even if you're behind, if you're Dallas, run the goddamn ball. Run the ball. Go to play to your strengths, and you'll win the game almost every time. I feel that sternly. And they got away from that, lost by 12 points to the Cardinals. If they do that in this game, they will lose.
Yeah.
They will. But just on the point spread, I'm not saying they're going to win or not, but I'm going to go New England getting the 6.5 points there in Dallas. I agree with you on that point. Next game. Speaking of those Arizona Cardinals, they are 14-point underdogs at the San Francisco 49ers, my number one team in the King Top 12 Power Ranking Sports. Stay tuned, Sports Extra, sponsored by Nobody Picks Power Ranking thing that I do. We'll come up with a better name, I promise. Anyway, Jimbo, Cardinals, Niners, who you got?
San Fran.
Can we just, we'll make this one quick. Yeah. San Fran.
Even with the 14, or minus the 14.
I like what the Cardinals did against Dallas. I think they are a scrappy team. I think they are going to be in a lot of games, and I don't think they're tanking. Like it's this thing, everybody's like, "Oh, team's tanking, team's tanking." No player is ever going to tank a season ever. Yeah. Because they are playing for their jobs. They're playing for their future. They're never going to tank a season. No matter if you get rid of them or you know their names or they're lesser players, they're not tanking. That being said, the Niners are something.
Yeah.
They are something. And they're not the Giants. They're not the Cowboys, apparently. We thought maybe the Cowboys were one of the top teams. I think you're going to find out. You're going to see the difference between the Cowboys and the 49ers in this common opponent here. I'm going with San Francisco as well. That's an easy one. Moving on. Sunday night. Is she going to show up or not? I know there's a couple of sports books that are actually taking bets on this or not. I think they did it last week. I don't know what the odds are for it now because the one that we're looking at now, which is FanDuel, doesn't have it. I don't know if DraftKings or MGM or Caesars or anybody else has it or not. That's something I would love to look at. Before we did this, we should have. Does Taylor Swift show up to MetLife? Again, she does a lot of her stuff in New York. She's really based in New York. She's got an apartment there. She comes over to Jersey all the time. Do you think she shows up?
I don't care.
Answer the goddamn question. You support.
Yeah, she shows up because it's a prime time. Look at me, all eyes on me type thing. Because that's all she cares about. So if this was a 1 o'clock game that was just on side markets or whatever,
she was at a 4 o'clock game in Kansas City against the Bears, which. Was like.
That was their first date. That's the only reason why she showed up.
Why do you hate Love so much?
Why do you hate Love? I just dislike her. Okay, Dr. King.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, I think she shows up too, honestly, to tell you the truth. I think the NFL might be handing her the NFL might give, hey, here's $100,000, just, for a little show, a little wet your beak, a little bit. Not that she needs it, clearly, but.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs, 9.5 point favorites at the New York Jetropolitans. Can the Jets stay close in this game? Jimbo, who you got?
The only way I'll watch this game if she's there is just to see how long it takes before the Jets defense totally implodes on that team. There's already rumors coming out that the Jets are completely done with Zach Wilson, and they're tired at Saul.
How do you not know the coach's name? Come on.
It's Eli Manning didn't even know the name. That they're tired of him being the apologist for Zach Wilson. So, with that being said, Chiefs by $1 billion.
Yeah. And especially if Miss Swift is there, I think we know all too well how this game is going to end.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's going to be a lot longer than just a 10-minute version for the Jets. It's going to be a long, long evening, and that's the other thing too. You're going to have Patrick Mahomes is going to be sitting there being like, "Look what you made me do." Chiefs by ability. I think the Chiefs. Yeah, it's the Jets are in such dire straits. They are already ready to explode. The fan base is ready to explode.
Yeah.
And I honestly think if Taylor Swift is there, it's going to be the extra little bit of salt in the wound to Jet fans, and to like it's little. And I'm sorry, Trevor Siemian also. I know we said they had to sign anybody.
Come on.
But Trevor Siemian is not that guy. Like, and now also the news is out that Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan also did contact the Jets and say, we're interested if you're ready.
Yeah.
And the Jets told them, don't worry about it. We're going to stick with Zach Wilson. The fact that that's out there now, the fans are ready to riot.
Yeah. Being
here in the New York area, listening to the morning radio shows every morning on WFAN and, getting the pulse of like, here's what you need to know. When you've lost Joe Namath, you've lost everybody. Joe Namath is the guy who has remained positive about the Jets through all their problems. And the Jets have a 1-15 season.
Yeah. And
Joe still remained positive. And then what was it? Yesterday, Monday or Tuesday came out. It was like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. What would you do to help Zach Wilson? I'd send him to Kansas City. I'd send him somewhere else. I've seen enough of him. I don't want him here. Joe Namath said this.
Yeah.
You lose Namath, you've lost everybody.
Yeah.
It's like the old saying with the news: if you lost Walter Cronkite, you've lost America. You've lost Joe Namath, you've lost the Jet fans. You've lost all of Jet fans. They are done. Zach Wilson, you can't put him out there this week, and they're going to. That's a problem. You cannot put him out there anymore. He cannot go out on that field as your starting quarterback. He can't do it. The fans don't want it. The team doesn't want it. Nobody wants it. They were done with him last year. The worst thing, the only bad decision the Jets made this offseason and everything they were trying to fix was keeping Zach Wilson as the backup quarterback.
And not bringing in a backup quarterback.
They needed to get somebody else. Anybody else as the backup. Some veteran presence, anybody. But getting Aaron was good. Putting all this other stuff in there was good. The one mistake they made was having Zach Wilson be the backup.
Yeah.
You couldn't have it because he was a heartbeat away. He was 4 snaps away.
Yep.
And now here we are in the same position that they were last year. And it's not going to fly anymore. No pun intended with the Jets, but it's not going to fly. So, yeah, we both have the Chiefs by $1 Monday night. The other New York team, and we're back to one Monday night game. Thank God. Unfortunately,
okay.
It's the New York Giants. They are also at home at MetLife Stadium playing the Seattle Seahawks. Giants 1.5-point favorites against the Seahawks on Monday night as it currently stands. Jimbo, who you got?
This is going to be my a little shout out to a friend that just passed away. This is going to be my you don't know what you're talking about pick. I'm going with the Giants. I'm going with them as a favorite. Seattle, yes, they played really well last week, but maybe this is the week the Giants turn around. I know you keep on, well, you gave up asking, maybe this is the week. But maybe this is the week they turn around. Is Barkley back? Was there any news on him yet?
Not as of yet. Everybody's talking about his Wolverine blood, but I would imagine he's probably still out for another week. Even with the extended time, I still want to say he's probably going to be out for another week. No official word yet if he is or not, though. So the Giants are going to play that close to the chest.
Okay. But either way, I mean, obviously, if he is back, gives him a lot better chance at winning overall. Not even counting the points here, but I'm going Giants -1.5.
All right. And again, a big rest in peace to our friend Donnie, who we knew from the bar that we met at and we hung out at a lot. If you ever hear us on the podcast, go, you don't know what you're talking about. That's Donnie. That comes from him. He had some wild fucking takes, man. He had some wild sports takes, man.
He said Miami's going to win the Super Bowl, and they went.
He said Miami was going to win the Super Bowl back in 2012, and I think they won 3 games or something like it was. Yeah, he had some wild takes back in the day. But he was always a favorite of yours and mine, and we liked
Yeah.
him. And we just learned of his passing not too long ago, so it's a bit of a sad day here. So again, rest in peace to you, Donnie. We love you, and we'll have a beverage in your honor, obviously, clearly. With that being said, you don't know what you're talking about. I love the Giants, clearly. I don't know if you can say all this. Big Giant fan. Love my Giants. I'm going to root like hell for the Giants. Seattle has been playing so well. They're doing well. They're doing a hell of a lot better than the Giants. And I can't pick the Giants with the way they play. If I pick the Giants, it's based on blind belief.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. I'm a show me guy. You got to show me why I pick you. Why do I have to pick you? Giants haven't done that yet. Seattle has. So Seattle as a 1.5 point underdog. You know, again, if we're talking about my heart, obviously going with the Giants, the head clearly has to go with Seattle for this Monday night. Jimbo, we're done. Week 4 picks in the books. Anything else you want to add? Any more hatred you want to spew towards the lovely Taylor Swift and Jason Kelce? I'm sorry, Travis Kelce.
Whoa.
I know
She's cheating on him already.
Some people want Jason Kelce to get her back in the Eagles fold here, you know.
Only thing I'll say about the Taylor Swift thing, and I mentioned on the show in case you guys didn't listen to the episode yet and just picked up on the video here. If you go over to buymeacoffee.com/ST Sports, as soon as we raise $500, I will sing a Taylor Swift song. Here's
the thing. I'm going to put a time limit on this.
Okay.
Because, you know, if we raise $500 in 3 years, it's going to lose all its luster.
Okay.
So how about this? By the Black Friday game.
Okay.
So Dolphins-Jets play on Black Friday this year after Thanksgiving. So that's what, November 26th, 27th, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact date. But Black Friday this year, $500 raised by then. Jimbo singing a Taylor Swift choice song of whatever choice. I might do a poll. I'll talk to some of my Swiftie people. I got some good Swiftie people. We'll talk to them, and we'll get the karaoke version of the song. Jimbo will sing the entire song. We'll give them the lyrics, and you have to try to match it, pitch for pitch, key for key.
I will.
We're not doing spoken word here, William Shatner. All right.
No. If we raise the $500, I'll give the people what they want.
I'm surprised you hate Taylor Swift so much, being that she grew up and is an Eagles fan.
Well, you remember when I found out she was an Eagles fan? I was like, oh crap! Now I gotta I don't know, just don't like her. I think what it is the way people make her out to be such a goddess, and you know she's just like me and you. Puts her underwear on the same way.
But she knows that too, and she actually. So you're more upset with her fans than you are with her herself.
Oh, yeah. Her fans are the ones that ruin it.
Stop talking shit on her. Talk shit on the Swifties. Although I said probably not the best idea to do that.
Well, I figured go right for the
best
jugular.
idea just to not like. You know, the old adage: if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. When it comes to the Swifties, probably best for that, because you don't want that smoke. You don't want it. You don't want it. I've seen what happened. I've seen what they do to their own people.
I get one 15-yard penalty. I'm making it worth it.
Dude, they just did that this past weekend because of the Travis Kelce stuff.
Yeah.
They murdered one of their own. and a good one, a popular one, too. I think she did like a fantasy Swift ball.
Okay.
Where she did like a game like during the Eras tour and stuff. Like you got to pick what outfit she wore or what she was going to do or what song she sang each night and stuff like that. Got big and popular. It was this whole big thing. She came out and she was like, I don't like this relationship. I don't like that she's with Travis Kelce. She got murdered by the Swifties. You do not want that smoke. You don't want it. So I'm going to tell you right now, pump the brakes on that.
Yeah.
Don't you say that now?
I'm bored at 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday and Saturday morning.
I'm telling you, you don't want that. You don't want that. But for your good friend Jimbo, I am King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports Extra. Goodbye. See, why you got to be one of the haters and the dirty, dirty cheats out there? Got to shake it. Oh,
I'll shake it. Never mind.
I know it's your most popular song, but I mean, dude, that thing's a banger. I don't care. Even the Swifties don't like it. I do. Shake it off, baby.